Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make 3 different types of hem for a dress. So, the first method is folding your fabric twice and then sewing close to the folded edge. Ensure that the seam allowance is what you fold. So if, for example, your seam allowance is 1 inch, so that means that your folding twice covers for the 1 inch. Then try to sew as close to the folded edge as possible. This way it gives your fabric a really nice finish. So this is how it looks like on both the wrong side and the right side of the fabric. So it looks a bit smooth with your seam line showing on the right side of the fabric, and on the wrong side all you just see is your folded edge with your seam close. The next method is when you have a lining and your main fabric, and you use your lining to bag out the main fabric. So in this video, the lining is what I marked as blue, and then the first thing you need to do is ensure that your lining is shorter than the main fabric, so you can make it at least 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. What happens here is eventually the lining pulls the fabric and you don't see the lining coming out. So as usual, sew your seam allowance. So if the seam allowance is 1/2 inch, sew on the 1/2 inch seam allowance. Once you're done with that, all you just have to do is open up the dress and then top stitch over the lining just to allow the fabric to lay. So just top stitch over the lining and then press, and then you're done. So this is what this particular method looks like on the wrong side. You can see the lining has pulled the fabric, and then you don't see, this gives you a tailored finish. You don't see any stitch or seam line at the hem, and you just have it nice and neat. And then all you just have to do is, don't forget to press, so it just looks flat and everything lays flat. Finally, our third method is called a pin hem stitch. Now the first thing you do is stitch across the hem of the fabric. Usually for a pin hem stitch, the seam allowance is just 1/2 inch, and the first stitch you're making is just the 1/2 inch seam allowance across the fabric. You do this so that you can know when to fold eventually. Once you're done with that, the next thing you do is fold along your seam allowance and sew close to the folded edge. Make sure you sew really close, like 1 millimeter close to the folded edge. The essence for the first stitch we made is so you can know where to fold, and then you don't go beyond or below the seam allowance. Now the pin hem stitch is used for lightweight fabrics such as organza, such as chiffon, and you can also use it to hem a wedding dress. Now the next thing you do is trim off the allowance. Make sure you go as close to the seam as possible. We want whatever is left to be really small. Finally, fold to cover the raw edge, and then you have your pin hem. Remember that you're stitching just close to the folded edge. this is what your pin hem looks like once you're done. You can see that the stitch is really close to the hemline. So these are the 3 different ways to hem a dress. There's so many other methods, but we are just fixed with these 3. Please make sure you try them out so you can know what it feels like. And thank you for watching. Please like this video, share with your friends, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Let me know how it goes with the method of trying, and let me know which method is your favorite. Thank you for watching. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are.